You can hear the air raid alerts, the alarms there being sounded in Rhine, the city which has suffered much shelling in the past few days in Ukraine. They have sounded an air alarm there, fearing more Russian attacks throughout the day. You just heard the sounds of the alarm there by the Sirens in Ukraine's Rhine. Air alerts being heard in Rhine at this point of time. Over to you, Priyanka.
Well, yes, Crispino, we have seen the kind of sporadic attacks that have been carried out in Russia, but this particular visual that we're putting out for our viewers is certainly more alarming, because now the entire air sirens that are being alerted there in Rivne, that is now in the western parts of Ukraine. Till now, we had seen the kind of bombing that had taken place in northeast and south part of Ukraine, but we had seen how the western parts of the country had remained more or less untouched. But now in Rivne, that is the second city right after the port. In fact, right west of Zhytomyr is where Rivne is located, and that is where we now see an air raid alert that has been sounded as well. And certainly a very alarming situation now that these kind of images show us where the Russian troops are attacking now.
European countries, including countries that have been rather resistant in the past to any notion that you should share that responsibility, now find themselves all of a sudden and quite unexpectedly in the situation of having to host hundreds of thousands. And what do? They ask for that international solidarity and sharing.
It's of course first and foremost the courage of the Ukrainian armed forces, the Ukrainian people and the Ukrainian leadership that has stopped and slowed down the Russian invasion, but the support that NATO allies have provided with training and equipment since 2014 has proven to be extremely important in support of those efforts.
We're also mindful that Russia's war of choice on Ukraine threatens to cause food shortages, higher food prices across Africa in the coming months. We're committed to finding ways to address these challenges together.
Senseless conflict in Ukraine is causing death and devastation to the country and its people, with enormous security risks for the region and the world. It has forced more than 1.5 million people across borders and disrupted the global economy with unforeseeable consequences. It has multiplied the danger of miscalculation and escalation. There is only one way forward: the path of dialogue and diplomacy.
Russian army continues to do airstrikes, air bombing, artillery shelling, and their troops are behind the city, and in some districts of the city we have street battles. So as you understand, the humanitarian situation decreases hour by hour, second by second.